Let's see what it is, goddammit. Uh from the beginning to the end, you gotta stay down. You can't be down sometime. You can't need a phone booth for you to jump in and change your clothes so you can turn into this confident guy. You can't do it like that. The reason is because you will get hurt. It's a really big deal to know where you are in this life. This life we live, this life that we know as the Abba Dabba, there's hella things a real motherfucker should know. But one of the most important things is how to fish. I'm sure you heard the saying you could give a man some fish to eat, but it's better to teach him to fish. That way he can feed himself. See, that's my goal at SWU. If you don't have the proper conversation, you'll never catch that goddamn woman you after. You just won't. Well, I'll take that back. It's not that you won't. It's just your chances or your opportunities, not opportunities, but the amount of times you're gonna achieve success if you don't have the proper conversation will be very limited. Now, if this broad is showing some resistance, you're really not going to win. See, none of you have learned how to put a conversation down properly. Now, if you don't have the confidence that it actually takes to make it work, you'll sound fake. And believe me, she's going to hear it. Now, you may be brave enough to start it off, the way, let's say you took some lessons or whatever and you dropped out or whatever. You may be brave enough to start it off, but your conversation it's going to be limited and it's going to fall off. And you're going to let her get away. Now, there's many things that we teach at SWU, but here's some facts about SWU. This is like elementary school, middle school, senior levels, and college. So what I'm saying is this. The first month at SWU is like elementary school, and you're going to learn all the basics. The second month is like junior high, where you learn where and how to use the things that you learned in elementary school. The third month, which is sort of where a lot of my guys are now, they're learning how to own the things that they learned. And you do that by going out and showing me what you know. This is when you're in the school. And lastly, you're going to realize you're at the pinnacle of what you tried to obtain, and that's confidence. Now, excuse me, wouldn't it be a great thing if I was able to start an elementary school where I could teach kids from the very beginning how to own their positions in life? Or even some kind of after-school program where we tutor students in our hoods. I would even be willing to start a citizen-run community center like we had in the Crest when we were kids. We had a house on the corner of Gateway and Griffin that was converted into a community center, had all the books and all the desks and all that shit in there. Kids came there to get help with schoolwork or simply to hang out in a safe environment for a few hours. or simply to get away from home. But the good thing about it, it was a community project, and people from the community opened and closed it every day. Now, I don't know what it should be, but I do know it should be something done to reach the younger kids before life chews them up and spit them out. I was talking with this dude. I had to be talking to this dude for at least 10 minutes when he said, "Gee, Rosebud, you're a selfish, full of yourself, conceited bastard, Rosebud." I looked at him and handed him a Kleenex. And I said, "Wipe your glasses off so you can see." I thought you could see that shit when we started talking. See, what I'm saying is, most of you misunderstand life and how it's supposed to be lived. You're not supposed to live your life according to Philip. You know, I scream, be a man this, be a man that. I scream that most of the time, and I'm hard or rough. But that's because that's who I am. I'm like that drill sergeant in the Marines. I don't want no pussies, pansies, or sissies. I don't give a fuck if women in here or not. I still don't want those kind of people. Now, I couldn't scream out to you about being a welder, especially if I couldn't tell you which burn is best or what shit to use. That would be like a football player trying to explain a crossover move. He's an athlete, but he plays football. Do you think a basketball player could tell you how to withstand a middle back's hits? See, I know the ins and outs of this abracadabra that I live, but I don't know everything about it. But why I'm safely tucked in at 73 is because whatever happens, I'm ready for it. I ain't got to call nobody. I don't have to get somebody's view of what's going on. The only view I need is the one of what I did. Now you can give me that view. Fucking with this abracadabra, period. You'll learn about all kinds of things. Now, if you fucking with those drag niggas, you gonna learn all about that paper. But your bitch gonna be in the front, and if something go wrong, you definitely gonna be visiting her ass in the pen. Now, for the record, I respect each and every aspect of the motherfucking game. But you know me, I pimped for mine. So, I can't say too much more about anything else because I'm not an expert at what a motherfucker telling a bitch to go in the bank. I'm not an expert, with what a motherfucker tell a bitch to con motherfuckers. That's another growth period for me. I'm in a growth period right now. And this is my third. During my second growth period, I grew to understand helping people. And I've been wanting to help my neighbors, my black neighbors especially, but I go fair with whomever my neighbor is. No race distinction involved. But if, I win this year, I'm going to look into something that I could do for black motherfuckers. I may even get a home base for SWU and have part of it as a community center. It's all ideas now, but I'm going hard on it. SWU is too valuable to stop where I'm at right now. That's why I must cut back on sales and deals after I swore I wouldn't have anymore. but I still got deals going on for you. You just got to look into them. When you're the way I am, you're in a perpetual state of thinking, and this, my friends, is tiring. So when it comes to my me time, it's a time when I don't do any of that shit. But guess what? That's why I don't get any me time, because it's damn near impossible for me to stop thinking about what I need to do. I'm always working on something, but I be coming up short. Sometimes I say, ain't that a bitch? And then when I do, I answer it, because no, it ain't a bitch. It's life. And I'm living it with all the ups and downs until they throw dirt on my black ass. Lately, I don't have the time, nor do I even want to engage in the shit that I used to engage in, arguing with dudes, trying to make them see my point. If you don't see it, you don't see it. If you do, you do. I know it's a valid point. There's many motherfuckers out there that know it's a valid point, that learned it was a valid point. So, I mean, arguing with motherfuckers did help me, learn how to apply my wares, if that's the case. I've noticed that people are sort of getting philosophical with the things they say. Some shit serious, some shit not. But what's strange is some of the things that I've been hearing are coming from fools. Yet the shit makes sense. Oh yeah. That's the one thing about philosophy. We all have opinions, and if you could back it up, I guess yours is as good as anyone else's. I enjoy reading them motherfuckers, even from the motherfucking fools. I guess fools really are only fools when they're acting foolish. But when you stuff off into the game, you just better be down. And if you are and you got patience, when you get to it, you're going to receive your crown. It's an ongoing battle, and there are many obstacles. But when it's all said and done, how do you think you're going to feel? See, you got to think about this shit. I got people I know who didn't make the right turns, didn't make the right moves in the game, and they remember game with malice. Just as I know people who made the correct turns and simply treasure the memories that the game left them, men and women. I think it's fair to say memories, for most of you, are a long way off. Just don't forget along the way, they don't have to be pleasant memories. You all will one day have memories, because that's what you do when you get old. You remember shit. I hope a bunch of you live to get old so that you can remember what you did these days. I hope you live, let's say, what is this, 2024? I hope you're living in 2054. And you can look back to 2024 and remember shit. Actually, remembering shit is what make you have a pleasant aging. You age with grace and dignity. Unless you weren't down. If you wasn't down, you'd be like many men and women I know who are mad at the world. This game, this Abba Dabba ain't no joke. That's why you should dream, and you should dream big. Everyone should strive to achieve their dreams. I strove to become great in an area where the majority of motherfuckers fail to do so in. Now, this doesn't make me better than you or anyone else. I don't even want to be better than anyone else. I want to be me. I want to be me, and if that is comparison to you, if you feel it's less than you, if you feel it's more than you, all that shit is your right. But I want to be looked upon as a person with an extreme amount of tenacity. I ain't quitting. Tenacity is a word that most of we don't really use that word that much in our conversations because it's just not an everyday word. But that don't mean you can't talk shit about that goddamn word. At least it don't mean that for me. Because that word can be applied to things we do every day. If you spell that word out, you can see why it's so important. Tenacity. Tenacity. Now, the T is for true. I'm true. I'm true to what I believe, and I'm going to be true as long as you know me. The E is for effort. I put big effort in everything I attempt to do. I ain't shortchanging you, and I ain't shortchanging me. The N is for never. I ain't never stopping believing what I profess. The A is for allows. Believing in the things I believe in allows me to be very confident. The C is for curious. It's not for confidence. I'm sure you thought that. But the C is for curious because my curiosity is never settled. I want to know. I'm not afraid to learn. That I is for intelligence. I have that. I have intelligence and I use it. The T is for two because everything I do is to and for you. And the Y is for yield. I'm saying it's so much that you get from investing in my motherfucking confidence course. My dream is only now beginning. Now, yesterday I sent for some of my SWU gear and became emotional. I'm telling you, I am a very sensitive dude, but I still can't believe I started this shit in record time. And I'm certain it could not have been done without the help and the direction from the man upstairs. Now, I pray that he sees fit for me to continue and complete my destiny. To help you motherfuckers win as men. We'll see in the next 15 months or so because I give myself limits, not necessarily time limits, but I'm not just going to have an open end situation. It's going to have a close. Now, if I indeed have the tenacity to continue on and maintain my forward direction, I will then really accept that I'm truly an exceptional man who have been graced with God's presence and blessed with his guidance. Now, we are able to do what we do because we're gamed up. The real ones there would recognize us. And sure enough, nigga get to that Midwest and we meet real niggas like Sly Ryan, Mr. G, Snidely Whiplash. Man, I went further east and met Baldhead Skip, met Methodical Man, and fucking 1,000 other real motherfuckers who all embraced me in the Abadab I represented. Now, that only happened because game recognized game. You will be recognized wherever you go based on your actions. From east to west, north to south, game recognized game. All over. We know how important the saying game recognized game is, especially if you're involved with the streets. Saying like that are why we traveled cross country with no fear. Not knowing a soul where we was going. Just knowing some real ones gonna be there and they gonna know us. Now, why I say that is I can't understand what make you think you could bargain with me. Is it just me, or is that the way you fuck with all vendors? Suddenly, every one of the people who wants something wants my entire library, and when I tell them what the cost would be, the motherfucker asks for a deal. Of course, I offer a better deal. And they say it ain't good enough. Now, I don't want to fill my customer list with fools who won't pay for what they want. You can't blame me because I offered a deal in October and it's now June and you're talking about what I said in October. I want to fill my capacity with motherfuckers who know what they want and are willing to pay for it. That's when I offer deals because I don't bargain. But if you real and ready to spend your money, I offer you a better deal. I remember when I was in the streets, we carried phone books with all our numbers in it. My black alligator phone book had nothing but dude numbers in it. And when the rollers pulled me over and looked in it, they just knew it was a trick book. This is John book. Back then, it was really fly to have a cold alligator phone book to carry your business cards and pen in. But when the popo looked in my book, they would all think they had found a trick book. And they was finna fuck me up. And I would tell them, call any one of those numbers. I don't give a fuck which one you choose. If it's a dude name on it, see, don't a pimp answer the goddamn phone. I don't call bitches and I surely don't fuck with tricks. And then them goddamn police used to love me and tell because we had no fear of letting them know we was pimps. This is no way to deny it. There is no way to deny it when you fly. So why lie to the popo? Once you tell them, they no longer be wondering who you are when they see you, unless you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. I'm just saying, if you ain't doing shit you shouldn't be doing, you just a regular motherfucker out and about. Because they know you no trouble. You a pimp nigga. You ain't no drug dealing motherfucker. You ain't trying to cause no problems. I didn't have much trouble with the rollers when I was down. Yeah, it was suspicious of me rolling Rolls Royce, but the popo they used to motherfuckers not having their shit together. I knew I would be a target, so I always had money in my pocket, all my paperwork for my car, my license, and was totally a gentleman when they pulled me over. That didn't assure me of not being fucked with. But back when I was rolling the Rolls Royce, the police didn't want to take a chance on you being a real celebrity that they didn't know. So most times I skated with no problems. Now it's different. It's a different thing when they stop you and you got a fly ass hoe in the car. Deal with that when that comes up is my philosophy. Do you know how to rate the importance of events in your life? Now that's a question people don't ask themselves. That's a question that people are not absolutely sure about what's important and how to deal with it. This is important for you to learn. Everything that happens in your life, every single thing that happens in your life has an impact on the end results or ongoing results of your living experiences. Not all those experiences deserve the same attention. Relegating what intensity each problem has in your life is an art, and it really has come in, handy for me. It comes in handy for you when you're wondering what to do with a situation involving a woman. If you can stay calm enough to see the situation and then relegate how much of your attention it deserves. Each time you have a situation with a woman, you do this, it will be much more fun for you to deal with. And each dealing will help you grow into the man with no fear of outcomes. You guys are not prepared for what you're seeking. You do not, you do know that the outcome is what most of you are afraid of, don't you? There's an entire generation who know there is fucking a black history, but in their defense, the only real racism they've seen has been on TV. They see these racist police killing black people with no repercussions. What they don't realize is they're seeing authorities who enforce the laws doing that goddamn shit. So how can you win? What the hell do you think you would think if any white person who wanted to could kill you? What if, even when the other driver clearly ran the stop sign and plowed into you, there is no fucking way you gonna win. You can't be in the right. And you know it's cause you black. The blacks can't really imagine. I mean, excuse me, not the blacks, young black motherfuckers can't really imagine what even I went through. Not to mention what my parents and their parents went through due to racism. Young people believe they can cite some kind of legal way to combat the police, but it won't work. At least they think they have some sort of right. We didn't even think we had any rights. We didn't even try to think it would work. Not until the 60s when the shit hit the fan. I didn't get no calls. I ain't mad. I just hate not getting calls. But I didn't get no calls, so either you didn't want to kick it with me, or maybe this subject you didn't like. You ain't gonna like everything I talk about, but that don't mean you can't kick it with me about it. Be cool. I'm gone.